What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you if it's your first time. I'm gonna go over how I graffiti. This is my way of graffitiing trains, box trucks, or whatever. So with this one, obviously a box truck, classic Walthers, all white. Right now I am prepping it for clear coat, just throwing some tape on there to mask off the windows. And then I'll spray it with clear coat to give it some tooth for the paint to grab onto. Tooth is what in the industry, artist industry, is known as the roughness, if you will, of the paper. And so what I do after the clear coat and everything has been, dried up or whatever, I'll just go on and start little sketching here and there on it. I typically will come up with some ideas of what I want to do, or even Google some stuff. If you're not really that good of an artist, if I do that, I typically want to give credit to the artist, because I've had people use my stuff and either they tag me or something, so I'm fine with that. But if you're not a good artist, just grab some cool images off the internet and practice. Maybe practice on paper first. But the pencils I use for this, I want to say this is a 2 or 4H. And so with pencils, there's different lead weights, if you will. Anything with the B at the end of it. So you remember like in school, you had the 2B pencils. Anything with a B at the end of it is a really dark, heavy lead, and soft lead on top of that. Anything with an H after it is a hard lead, and it produces light lines because the lead in there is harder. So that's what I'm using. It works for me a little better, because that B lead tends to smear also. Like if you accidentally rub your hand over it or something like that, the 2H won't smear as bad. But that is my reasoning for using that. Some people just go in with straight markers and stuff like that. I like to see where my stuff is going to land before I make permanent marks on my stuff. And yeah, I'm just sketching it out, looking at reference. The last one I did was on a O scale box car. This is on HO scale, which is a lot smaller. Obviously the O scale was easier because there was a bigger space somewhere where I could plant my hand and keep it stable, my drawing hand. And, with HO scale, I typically use my pinky and, keep it stable and try and get the lines where I want it. Like while I'm sketching, it's pretty easy just to scribble some lines or whatever. But when you're actually detailing and outlining, you need to have a good stable base, so you don't make shaky lines and stuff like that. And it's also good to say that whenever I'm doing, especially HO scale, I try not to get too detailed on the artwork, just because it's a smaller scale, right? And you're going to lose some of that detail. So I typically pick, whether it's a character I'm doing or graffiti letters or something, I always try and pick something that is simplified, if you will. So it's not a lot of line work. It's not a lot of colors. It's not a lot of, looking at HO scale things from the perspective of where your human eye looks at stuff. You really can't see too much of the details unless you get like a camera and you get down in there and, I can see what's happening here. From far away, you want it to look good, and from up close, you want it to look good. So again, I typically take very easy, simple line work. So now it looks good from up close and far away. And that's what I would live by, honestly, especially if someone is starting out and wanting to do this. Start off with, and it's funny that I'm using the word easy. Pick something simple, something very easy that you can, get into, and then start going in for like more detailed, higher level stuff. So that's my take on, just pencil work. And then I also wanted to because again, people ask what markers and stuff I use. I wanted to go over some of the markers and pens and all that stuff that I'm using when I do the fill-ins and colors and outlines. So Posca, I think if I'm saying that right, Posca is one of the main markers that I use. I think this is the mid, as far as like, you got fat, you got thin, and these are the thins here that I'm showing you, but you got thin, medium, and them fat ones. And they all, serve different purposes. Keeps it with the size of what you need colored. And then when I do my outlines and stuff like that, I'm using mostly microns. I got some other brand markers or pens in my drawer, but micron is usually the go-to. You can find these anywhere, Amazon, in your local big box store. This one in particular, it had a PN on it, and it's pen, but the tip of it is more like a ballpoint pen versus the other ones that are different sizes. So you have from like 00 or 00 with a 5, so 005, all the way up to like 3.0. Those pen ones are kind of just, hey, yo, I'm outside doing a little bit of yard work. But if you like this, what you're watching, subscribe, like, share, send it to all your people, leave a comment below. I appreciate you. Fixed with, if you will. Once I'm happy with the sketch that's on the box truck in this case, or train or box car, just go in and start filling in. Again, this is the simple version, right? So like, if I was doing like some blends or anything like that, I'd be having my airbrush out to where I can get a good blend, or if you want to get fancy. So when you put this paint on with these markers, it takes a few minutes for it to dry. So that's why I've done the eyes, and now I'm over here doing the lettering. But because it's still wet, and like say I wanted to blend a dark blue from the bottom to the top where it's faded with that light blue, you can kind of just dab that blue together right at the edge where it stops and you want it to fade, and you can kind of mix it with either a little toothpick or even with the marker tip itself. So there's ways to achieve certain things, but again, this is just very simple, basic how-to graffiti, if you will, session. And so I'm filling in with this light blue, and now this is where it gets where I see, I'm not going to say people making mistakes. I mean, you are where you are with your, whether it's an artistic ability. Art is definitely subjective, so I don't want to get on some weird high horse of do it my way or whatever. But looking at other folks when they do graffiti and stuff like that, and because I'm an artist, I'm a tattoo artist, for me, line work is at the pinnacle, like the very tip top of any art, graffiti, whatever you're trying to do. I mean, because, hell, I want to say 90% of people go right off of visuals. There doesn't need to be a story, or you don't have to look at art and be like, oh, what's the artist trying to say? Most of the time when you see art, it's just, this is what it is. This is what I see. I see a monkey, you know what I'm saying? Clean, whatever. So I always like my stuff to be super clean. And I mentioned we were going to talk about the clear coat. And so with these markers, and I want to find maybe a different clear coat, find something different. But the clear coat with those microns tend to need two coats, if you will. So, I'll do the outline, and then you can see like little white holes where I guess the paint or the ink in that marker isn't sticking well. So I'll let that dry. I'll fill in with the Posca markers, because those have actual acrylic paint in there. Once that's done, I'll come back in with the microns, which now I'm on the letters because I'm letting that black ink dry, because I need to go back over that stuff. And I'll show you, I think I do a little close-up later in the video, but go over, let it dry. So, it's a process, right? It's not like nothing is done super quick. It takes practice. I believe, like Ratatouille, anyone can cook. I believe anyone can do what I'm doing. Now, it just comes more naturally to me, which may seem, I guess, easier to some people, but if you practice at anything, you can do it. You may not be the best, but you can do it. So right now I'm kind of just tagging. Back in the day, we called that electro rock. I'm not sure what it's called now, just, I guess, tagging. But here I'm just going in. I'm just freestyling, honestly. Just figuring like, I should add this, or maybe I'll add that. And now I'm just adding little dots around, little bubbles, if you will. You'll see that in graffiti a lot. It's just, if you look at a lot of graffiti, you'll start seeing certain elements that always end up in there. And I'm getting ready, so you can see where now I'm going back over, because that stuff is dried. It may skip, and I don't show when I clean up that black, but now I'm cleaning up that dark blue. And I want to show you something where I made a mistake right there. And see how I made it bump out? Now I'll do another little bump out. And now I'm gonna just start again freestyling. Now I'm adding these little weird wavy lines at the bottom of the letters. There's no reason for that. But because I feel like I made a mistake over there, now I need to clean it up, if you will. No one will ever know once the product is finished that I made a mistake, but to clean it up and to make it feel cohesive, that's what I chose to do. And that's pretty much it. Graffiti is more or less a self-expression, and you can get away with a bunch more stuff than you can with like drawing human bodies or something. And I mean, even then you can still do whatever you want, but graffiti by itself is a huge expression of who you are. And here's the finished piece. I did clean it up. I cleaned up the black lines on his hair and his ears, his eyes, and all that. But I don't know, this may have taken me half a day to do. And it's just because I've been doing it for a while. Added some other tags, on the door. And I think that's a little peace symbol above that fresh, the word fresh. I always tend to cover the actual main piece with other tags, just so it can feel more authentic and natural, because people will come and tag over your stuff. So yeah, this again just me doing me, and we'll close out with a talking head. Hope y'all appreciate it. Hope it helps someone. Peace. And yeah, that was me tagging a box truck my way. I wanted to clear something up as far as detail. Now, there are people that can do really fine detail on small things. So I wanted to make sure I clear this up, that the detail that I use, the details that I do with the tools that I'm using, as you get smaller, it's a little more difficult. So if I grab, I don't know, a very thin brush, I probably could do a little more details, but just them tools, when you start shrinking stuff down, it's a little harder to get that detail. That's what I wanted to say. Sheesh. Anyway, I hope you all were able to grab something from that, just a little bit from here, maybe grabbing certain pencils or certain pens and all that stuff. I think I got that stuff in my Amazon shop, like just I think it's like artist supplies or something. I'll put the link below if I remember. Yeah, I hope it helps someone. Check out City Figures. It's been doing quite well. This is probably the third week, maybe a month now that I've been doing it. Grab a few figures. Let me know what you think. I've gotten quite a few emails and pics of people that had received their stuff and actually painted some of them too. They come unpainted. The next video I drop here will be how you do them, and how I think you can do them once you get them in the mail. They come unpainted. I've had a lot of emails asking to be painted. I just don't have the time to do that. So you get them, you prime them, and then you go through the whole steps. It doesn't take long to paint these figures either, because they're so small. But unfortunately, they do come unpainted. Now, if I can once start getting a routine going, then maybe I'll start taking some orders of painting. What's the word I'm looking for? Commission painting. But as of now, it's unpainted. But they're pretty dope. I like them. Everyone that's gotten them really enjoys and likes them for their layout or diorama, whatever they're building. Go there and check some stuff out. Whoa! I want to thank my Patreon folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate this continued support. I got some people that have been in there for years. Thank you. Thank you so much. With that, I think we are going to end the video. Whatever YouTube is telling y'all to check that out. And yeah, I'll see y'all next week. Maybe. I'm going out of town. I'll see y'all soon. I'm out.